Hello guys. Welcome to the channel. It seems that we are live, rocking and running. So today's topic, the new moon into Sagittarius. What can I say? It's going to be, or at least for what the Pisces moonbeam wrote to me. I don't want to rephrase what she said to me. Stay on the lookout for her more elaborative post tomorrow at both of the Facebook pages. One is Radko Tarot, the other one is Pisces Moonbeam, or rather like the other one is Radko Tarot and Pisces Moonbeam. Bottom line, and what's really intrigued me here for what she what she told me, or like what she wrote me, it is that throughout this transit there will be a hard time differentiating in between intuition and illusions, reality, and as well fantasies. So that to me kind of like speaks that we have a pretty good chance fucking things up with people or with situations as well. So probably it's not the best time to do things out of, let's say it that way, out of emotions. Probably it's the best time to really think twice or even 3 times before we actually jump into an action. And that is something that also the tarot cards are showing. If you have just give me a minute here. If you have observed or if you have paid attention rather to the thumbnail, you probably saw 5 cards there lurking on the thumbnail, and these are the cards for the collective reading. I'm going to show the cards here to you as well. So the first card for the collective reading is the Six of Wands. The second card of the collective reading, that is the Ace of Pentacles, followed by the third card, which is the Knight of Swords. Afterwards we have the Nine of Swords, and the final one that is going to be the Eight of Swords. Now, as you can see, there aren't much element of water. There isn't element of water at all, so definitely this isn't a quite of a predisposed transit to be emotional about stuff. Now, before I go to the interpretation, Karen, Pisces Moonbeam, and Mattia, thank you so much for your support. Karen with double $333, one for me and another one for Pisces Moonbeam. Pisces Moonbeam, of course, returns back the favor to Karen with $333 Canadian, and Mattia, as usual, $9.99. Thank you so much, guys. As usual, make sure that you do stick around up until the end, where you are gonna get your personal readings, me included. Now, somebody asked me why I do to myself a Lenormand reading rather than a tarot draw. Well, the thing is that tarot, it's about interpreting things around, okay? That means that if I interpret things around for myself, I can never be objective because I'm emotionally invested into it. So the only other thing, so I can be fair, it's Lenormand, because they show things. You can't change what they show. You can't play around with it. It is what it is. And that's why I'm doing Lenormand draws to myself. Let me just note it. Hello, Charlie. Welcome to the stream. Right. So, as far as the collective comes, this is going to be a transit, for as far as these cards are showing, where the environment of ours is going to be quite successful. Now, what we can expect from this transit is to accomplish a quite substantial milestones, and it will be very common for every single one of us to be rewarded for their previous efforts, whether that reward is within our love life or whether that reward comes into our relationship kind of comes with our love life, our career. Okay, these rewards are going to be something that we do deserve because it's based on our efforts, obviously, but it will be a transit where we will enjoy kind of like peak of experiences on one and another front, multiple fronts. And if we are fighting for, or rather like building up a name, there is a pretty big chance to be recognized for what we want to be recognized into the next couple of weeks. Of course, there is a catch to it though, okay? And the catch comes from the last three cards that we do have, which are these three cards. They are all swords. And what they show, well, they show a few things. Now, the first one is that these peak of experiences that we will become a part of, but I don't want to say victim of, but we are going to be a victim of it. It's just that's how it's going to play out. Okay, so these peak of experiences, they are going to make us more courageous to validate ourselves better in the society and in the world. So these rewards we are gonna get, they're gonna make us realize, okay, that what we do, or we ourselves, should we have lost, I don't know, sense of self-worth, it is pretty much worth it. And also that this progression is going to help us overcome some fears that we do have. For example, we may have a fear to speak something out loud or to make certain actions. Now, after the next couple of weeks, those fears are not going to be that pronounced. They're not going to be that strong. But also that will bring us to realizing as well of consequences, that every action bears consequences, but not acting bears just as big consequences as making an action, right? And that's why we should not approach things emotionally. That's one reason. The other reason, it is that just because we do feel bad about something, it doesn't mean that it's gonna end bad. And that is probably where the illusion in between intuition, okay, or rather like hard to differentiate in between intuition and illusions are coming about. And the card showing it is the Eight of Swords at the last position. Okay, that card pretty much shows that the energies which are going to support us throughout the next couple of weeks, these are a very expanding energies. The Eight of Swords, it speaks about a couple of things. Now, the first thing, it's a self-imposed limits, like like what I said, something inappropriate with, or rather like something we want to say, we think it's inappropriate, that we think it's inappropriate. There we go, we do have self-imposed limitations, and that's limitation, and that's why we don't say it. Okay, or we may kind of like have a pretty low assessment of ourselves, and there you go, self-imposed limitation. We may think that we cannot pull it through. That thinking is self-imposed, or rather like we may feel. It's not about thinking, it's about feeling. So we may feel that we cannot pull it through, and that feeling, it's self-imposed limitation. So that is one thing why this what the gift of the new moon is going to be, to take down those self-imposed limitations. Another thing, it is what these energies are going to help us see. It's, or rather like digest. It's not even seeing, we do see it, but digesting it down. It's the truth. I love the Eight of Swords. I said it many times. That card stands as if the truth makes you free, then what the denial of it makes you. And now, instead of denying it, the energy of the full moon is going to give us the strength to accept whatever truth stands in front of ourselves. That could go both ways. It could be the truth that things are not going to work out, and we being invested into it and refusing to accept that it's not going to work out. It is a self-imposed limitation. Or it may be the truth that is going to work out and we were very afraid to believe in it. Well, that fear, it's a self-imposed limitation. Bottom line here, guys, it is that after the next couple of weeks, or even throughout the next couple of weeks, we will obtain a pretty good idea what truly we are capable of with the current situations and resources that we do have. But that is the idea, not the feeling. That is very important to be, how can I put it into words, separated. And our attitude, or rather like behavior, as that Knight of Swords dictates, should be approaching our matters, career-wise or relationship-wise, with intelligence, okay? And as well with, I don't know how to put it into words, as well being calculative about them. But that here does not mean that we should not consult ourselves with our feelings. Feelings, it's different than emotions, okay? There is a difference in between feelings and emotions, and I'm going to give you an example. You may love someone to the heavens and backwards, but they may make you feel bad with their actions and with their words, right? So there is a difference there. And the bottom line with those cards, it is that when we do approach the matters with intelligence, okay, and logic, we can consult ourselves with our feelings. And then what happens is that what we decide to do, or the way we decide to approach situations, it's the same time something we want to do, and it is something that makes sense, okay? Because if you are in, say, a toxic environment in your work, you may want to work that job, but it doesn't make sense being there because you are in a toxic environment. And that is the bottom line of this new moon into Sagittarius, to start or transform something that in the same time it is something we want, and it is something that makes sense. It has a reason to exist. And that is the collective reading. So with that said, you guys, tell you how the stream is going to move forward before we actually move forward. So within this stream, I'm gonna do 12 readings. That's the minimum, all right? One for each star sign, starting from Aries, ending with a Pisces. And as well, in between those readings, I'm going to make breaks. And in those breaks, there is going to be a free reading giveaway, or in other words, one of you is going to get a free reading from me. And all that you gotta do to participate into that free reading is just stick around up until one of these breaks and ask a question when I do announce the break itself. You will have about 5 minutes to do so, to ask your question. And depending on if there is a question or not, I'm going to pick one of them after those 5 minutes run out, and I'm going to perform a professional reading on that question. Other than that, anyone who supports the stream and the channel through Super Chat, you guys are gonna get a reading at the end of the stream, or at the end of the stream that's given. But Pisces Moonbeam suggested something which is going to be exclusive for the new and the full moon, because it's a very special spread. And what she suggested is that if the super chat is $20 or higher, the person should get that 5-card spread, which is the spread I'm using to read for the star signs. And I think that that's fair. So yeah, that's a new rule that I'm adding for the new or the full moon streams. With your super chat, you can choose: do you want a tarot draw, or do you wish a Lenormand draw? If you do not say anything, by default you get a tarot draw. If you want Lenormand draw, by all means, I will be more than happy to draw you a Lenormand reading. Difference in between them: tarot, it's about energies; Lenormand, it's about events. Okay, so the Lenormand shows, basically they show what is gonna happen to you, but you need to understand that this is also very vague. Yeah, you do have the event. For example, it may they may show you you're gonna get hired, all right, or you're gonna get or you're gonna make money. So that's an event, but they don't show you how, when, where, whom with. Okay, they don't show you that. And even though you may have a very clear view on the event, you don't know the magnitude, you don't know the time frame, you don't know anything about it. And that is for a reason, so you cannot avoid it, or we cannot avoid it. Taco, thank you so much for your 22 US dollars. Thank you, Taco. All right, I'm gonna do that question. By the way, how are you, mate? I mean, are you recovering well? It's Taco, for that question, it's a tarot reading. Oh, I'm very glad to hear that. Very glad to hear that. And finally, guys, if you want a personal session with me, you can go to my website, which you will find in the description down below. And at my website, at the very front page, you can see full list of my services, their pricing as well. My recommendation is always go for a live Skype reading. That way, for your money, you get so much more than for a recorded reading. Tarot, it's better. I mean, Lenormand is gonna show some kind of event that is gonna happen in between your wife and your father, but it may not be related with, you know, the money that you're talking about here. Okay. All right. So, with all that introductionary, let's jump to the readings. And the first one, that will be Aries. Oh, thank you, Lisa. Hi from Bulgaria as well. And Angela, I believe I missed to greet you. So, welcome. Glad to have you back. All right, so Aries, first one, we do have the Two of Pentacles for you, followed by the second card, which stands as the Ace of Cups. Moving on next, that is going to be the Six of Swords, followed by the fourth card of the Sun. And the final one for you, Aries, that is going to be the Eight of Wands. Okay, so those 5 cards. And according to them, next couple of weeks, Aries, you should be definitely quite ballsy. It doesn't matter if we're talking about career or if we're talking about relationship. Do you know what your situation is for according to these cards? Well, the situation is like that, okay? A good opportunity, it's a good opportunity. A good time window, it's a good time window. You don't have to like it though, okay? Just because you do not like that you have to make money with that person, it doesn't mean that you cannot make money with that person. Just because you don't like, I don't know, that road, it doesn't mean that that road cannot get you to where you need to be. Okay, so personal feelings and choosing the pleasure way forward, or rather like the easy way forward, it's not very advisable by the look of these cards. Even on the contrary, okay, we do have the Six of Swords for you, which is on the third position. That card describes the behavior, how you should address your situations in the next couple of weeks. And that is the ballsy card. That is when you have to cross certain lines with yourself, that is, okay? Cross certain lines, traverse certain thresholds, conquer certain fears as well, so you can pretty much get to new heights. And the expansion is the name of the game for you. And if you haven't no expansion whatsoever for the past, I don't know, couple of months, couple of years maybe, well, that is because you're not putting yourself in a, can I put it into words, I don't want to say risky situation, or rather like into risky moves, but more a ballsy moves, that is. So you need to learn here to kind of like recognize where the wind is blowing from, and where your natural expanding energies of growth are going. And again, you don't have to like it to be successful, profitable, and growing. Okay, that's very important. So that said, or rather like long story short, maybe within the next couple of weeks you will have to get your hands dirty. Maybe in the next couple of weeks you will have to address situations and things that you are not going to feel very thrilled of doing. It's no different than addressing chores or attending to chores. But these chores can truly build up your foundation, not just only your foundation, but also they can build up your future prosperity. And the universe itself is gonna bring you lots of options available for you to choose from. And the beauty of it is, because it's the helping card, means that every single one of them is gonna be good for you. You just have to take your pick. Okay, and once again, I want to stress this one around. You don't have to like it. And you may say, well, I do have plans for the next couple of weeks. Well, you do not make plans in absence of the universe, okay? When we do have a say here, when you make plans, God or the universe, whichever one you believe in, mocks on you and fucks around with your plans. And for some of yours, that's what's going to take place here, because we do have Two of Pentacles, okay, as in an environment. And Two of Pentacles, it's when things doesn't go exactly based on your strict planning concepts, traditions, and so on and so forth. There will be so much room for you to play around with. And that's why it's going to be very important to be adaptable. And once something falls from your plate, you have something else immediately to replace it. Just to give you an example, just to give you on a very innocent example here, is that you do schedule a date with a friend of yours, right? There is that movie you want to watch on cinema, and you schedule that date, but suddenly your friend has an emergency, and there you go, your plan out of the window. So what you are going to do for the next 3 hours then, right? You are not going to just sit in your home watching the wall. You will need to have something to replace that plan, or rather like that failed My God, that failed date. And this is exactly where these many opportunities comes about. And you don't have to like that your date had failed, but it did. Nothing you can do about it unless replace it with something else. That goes for job, goes for friendship, goes for literally anything. So you want to go forward and accomplish a lot, you can. But once again, you don't have to like it. Thank you, Nancy. Yeah, I like it that way better as well. All right, next one, we do have Taurus. So for Taurus, first one, that is going to be the Five of Wands. Moving on next, that will be the Hermit. And we do have a Redeemer here, actually, with the Hermit on the second. Then it is the Nine of Swords. Afterwards, we do have the Devil. And the final one is going to be the King of Swords. Okay. So these five cards, and we definitely have a Redeemer. So what the Hermit in the second position shows, it is that nothing happening in the next couple of weeks actually is going to be substantial for your future. And you may listen to that and say, oh my God, boring weeks. No, they don't have to be. I mean, when that happens, people usually kind of look at it like it is something negative, but I do beg to differ. Because think of it, guys, you can party for the next couple of weeks and that is not going to have any substantial impact on your future. That's just for example, okay? And you can definitely lose the news a lot. And I really mean a lot. Just because nothing substantial is going to be there, it doesn't mean that you are going to be bored. In fact, there will be a crazy dynamic for you in the next couple of weeks. Many surprising events coming around, things you can't predict, you can expect as well, turnarounds and all these kind of stuff. And it is just, if you are a very active person, you will barely have time to catch up your breath, go jumping from one thing to another or attending from one thing to another. Let's say attending from one party to another party. So what you can accomplish throughout this week or throughout this transit, well, while the material world is not going to have anything substantial for you, the ethereal, it's a completely different story. So instead of being, how can I put it into words, active into solving, you can be thinking into solving. What I mean is that these are a perfect weeks for you to think of a strategy that you can implicate or exert, so to speak, after that new moon into Sagittarius is over. Or instead of starting something new, you build up the strategy to make it happen, which is again a start if you think about it. Okay, and that way, through a careful analysis, a lot of deliberations with the people that are quite professional into the field where you do have problems at, your problems are to be resolved. That is a great, for example, weeks where you can consult yourself with your physician, lawyers if you do have a problems within the law department, okay, or business advisors, for example, business consultants or whatever you call it, whatever floats your boat, whatever is going to get you there, all right? But the thing is that only your problems here in the next couple of weeks, they are going to be resolved through a analysis and carefully built strategy rather than frantic exploration and hoping that magically things are gonna work out. Because if that's your plan, trying out and see what's gonna happen, well, that's not a plan. That's a prayer. And like we saw in the collective, prayers are not gonna work out for the next couple of weeks. And yeah, what you need to learn for what those cards are showing is that there are times where you get to have control over your life and you can mess around with it the way you want. According to these cards, well, now it's one of these times, the next couple of weeks. So by all means, have fun, okay? Experiment, do whatever floats your boat. And if you are facing some kind of a predicament, before you actually do something about it, make sure that you know what you're getting yourself involved into. And that will happen once again through a carefully building strategy and research. That is something which is going to help you big way, because you're going to have as well the resources to make the research itself. So that was for Taurus. Moving next, we do have Gemini. Right, so Gemini, first one, it is the Star card. Oh, hello, TS. Moving next, we do have the Five of Pentacles, followed by the Ace of Cups. Afterwards, we do have the Nine of Cups. And it is the Three of Pentacles. I'm gonna sneeze. I do apologize about that. All right. Only, well, according to that, I don't think that you're gonna like what I have to say, okay? But according to these cards, you are shooting yourself in the foot. I was just trying to find a way how to really express that, but it's just there is no other way to say it. I mean, it's all over these cards, guys, because this new moon into Sagittarius, it is shoving, it's gonna shove in your face, you know, the things that are capable to make you happy. Like, look at here, you know, you fool, why are you wasting all that? And the biggest problem that you're gonna have, it's pretty much yourself, or the way you handle things. So pretty much it's like you're having the option to be, say, happy, but you almost, it feels like you can't handle happiness. It almost feels that way by the look of those cards. So the environment, pretty much, it's gonna build up a couple of things with it. The first thing it is that this new moon in Sagittarius, it is the start of new era in your life, more or less, meaning that whatever difficulties you have experienced up until this point, they are gonna be in the old era. In the new era, most likely you are gonna start feeling less and less influence of these issues. So you can expect things to get easier and easier for you. And through that environment, you are going to start enjoying more of your surroundings. So what boils down to with this one is that it's going to be much more easier for you, Gemini, to find a love, or it's going to be much more easier for you to find a job that reciprocates with your ideals. It's going to be much more easier for you to initiate business deals. It's going to be super easy for you to look to the future and to see that, oh hell, I do love my future, just to say that. But loving your future and getting there, two different things. And right now, as we do have that Five of Pentacles into the second position, pretty much speaks that your current lifestyle, or in other words, the way you handle stuff, it's not exactly the way how you should handle them, because it's income. It's not only inappropriate, it's incompatible to what the future holds with you. And instead of clinging to that Five of Pentacles, what you gotta do is cling to the Ace of Cups, which in this particular case for you, Gemini, shows that you have to be grateful for what's going on around you, or find the happiness into it, instead of, you know, being, well, I will say it that way, leaning toward the pros rather than the cons. Because you can look at whatever situation you are both ways. You can see it that it is very disadvantageous, but if you want to, you can see it very, very advantageous. And that is what the full moon in, or rather like the new moon in Sagittarius is here to teach you of. If you have somebody that loves you, yeah, there may be problems in between you two, but you can definitely make things work out, okay? And these problems are based on the styles you are handling things with each other. So for you, Gemini, it all comes to that, you know, are you gonna allow yourself to be happy really? Or are you gonna play the victim one more time? It's not a new moon? Really? Oh my god, yeah, it's the full moon. Well, it doesn't matter for the tarot, it's a full moon. Hold on a second then. Okay, I'm gonna fix that once I'm done here. Wow. Alright, that's a flop, but it makes no difference for tarot. I'm taking those, or at least for me, for I'm not an astrologer. These events are just a fulcrum points. Okay, they just give something to focus on. So it makes no difference, is it a full moon in tarot, in a full moon or a new moon or some kind of a transit. In any case, so yeah, it's you gotta learn to value the happiness that's, or rather like the sources of happiness which are in your life currently, and how you're gonna how you're going to recognize those sources. Well, it's pretty easy, guys. They were always there to support you. Always there to support you. It is in the cards. They will support you in the next couple of weeks. Okay? And that is how you're going to recognize them. That will be something you can always count on. Yeah, Sandy, I'm gonna fix the thumbnail. Hold on a second. I'm gonna fix the thumbnail right now. There is. It should be now changed, or rather like fixed. Right. All right, so that was for Gemini. Moving on, next we do have a Cancer. Thank you, Sandy. I know. I am not easily moved, okay? And I have no problem admitting that I made a mistake, which I totally did. I don't know why I thought it's the new moon. I had no idea. Even the art of the thumbnail is about a new moon, so it's kind of awkward. But in any case, Cancer, first one, we have the Strength. Moving on next, that is going to be the Knight of Wands, followed by the Four of Swords. Afterwards, what we do have, that is going to be the Devil. Then at the end, we do have the Queen of Cups. So it's gonna be all over the place. This full moon in Sagittarius period for you over the next couple of weeks. On one hand, it seems that the environment for you, or you are going to be of quite of a an enthusiastic environment. In other words, things that you are gonna handle, whether in your job or whether in your social life or love life even, all right? You will feel excited about it. It's kind of like it's gonna give you that thrill, so to speak. And it's highly likely that you are also gonna find a lot of things interesting to you. And it's not excluded to kind of like set for yourself a quite of an ambitious goal. Quite of an ambitious one, which will be completely achievable, accomplishable, but you may also be a bit hard on yourself, okay, within the next couple of weeks, in a way of not giving yourself a break from one or another thing. But next couple of weeks for you, Cancer, are also going to be those weeks where you will become determined. What I mean, it is that whatever happens, nothing will be able to sway you from what you decide to do, which is a great thing. I at least personally, I totally, that is the biggest respect something or someone can exert in me. Okay, when whether they are okay or not, or rather like whether they are right or not or wrong, they do what they think is best for them. And that is exactly how you are going to move through the next couple of weeks. Now the excitement and the enthusiasm, while they are something good, while they are going to be very big, or rather like a very powerful fuel for you to move to push forward with your tasks into your career or into your domestic environment, okay, to get yourself introduced to new people, get to know new people, for example, make new friends, and so on and so forth. They are also gonna happen to be affliction, because there are gonna be times where you're just not gonna know when to stop yourself. And what happens it is that, you know, you're going to, it's not like you're gonna have too many things at your hand, but you are risking replacing something better for something worse just for the sake of trying it out. Okay, just because you may think it's somewhat interesting, kind of like scrapping away what's it's better for what is worse. And in order to overcome that, consultation and conversations are needed with a loyal and faithful companions, people you do trust, to consult yourself about, say, job offerings or you know, behaviors with people, etc., etc. So you gotta take it easy. And when I say take it easy, I don't mean you should not be active. You should. But when it comes to major choices, so the choices that can jeopardize one or another thing, you can definitely should seek for a second, even a third opinion in the next couple of weeks, for at least according to these cards. And believe it or not, the energies which are supporting you, they are giving you those people. In fact, there are a person or a society that is willing to take you under their wing, for what we can see into those cards. And also you can count a huge discrecy as well. So suffice to say, whether you share your secret in the next couple of weeks or not, or at least according to these cards, your secret is gonna find a safe haven and solace. So it's gonna be safe, rest assured. And another thing about these energies that I can see here, it is establishment. Okay, so whatever you are about to start or accomplish is going to be there to stay unless you decide to walk away. Whether you establish new relationship, or you establish business, or you start a job, or you initiate a project, I'm sorry, is going to be there to stay unless you decide to walk away. But what you need to learn, that is the bummer here, that is the most important thing. I'm going to say it only once. You have much more power and influence than you may think you have. So I suggest you start using it. So with that said, that concludes the first 4 star signs. And with that, the first break, it's open. And now within this break, one of you is going to get a free reading from me, guys. All you got to do is just input a question into the comments down below. And in about 5 minutes, I'm going to pick one of these questions and I'm going to perform a professional reading on that question. Actually, Vero, it's more like 11, 12 rather than 8, 9 that I'm doing the tarot. Hey TC, welcome to the stream. I hope you do enjoy the show. Hey, Ginger. Welcome to the stream. Long time no see. Oh my God, tornado. You know that this is my dream, no? To see a real tornado. I want to see a real tornado live. Oh my God, I really want to do that. It's one of my dreams. It's a stupid one, but it's something I want to do. So you didn't saw it? You didn't have the pleasure to see it, rather. It is. It is scary. It's the mother nature. I believe that that's the moment you do realize how powerless and insignificant you are. Hey, Seda and Leia, welcome to the stream, both of you. And as well, Prior, welcome to the stream. Well, I can find pictures of tornado. I can even watch tornado on YouTube. There are documentaries about tornado. I wanna see it real, right? I wanna feel the power. I do. I don't know if I love it. I just know that I want to see it, right? I want to see it. All right, so will I have a closure with the Aries? Christina Garza asks, so let's check it out, Christina. Well, everybody can from afar. The real deal is to see it. I don't want to say you got to be right next to it, right? But at the very least, feel the wind. I don't know, guys. I was watching a documentary for 2011, I believe it was, Joplin. Oh my God, it was like the sky broke out. It was just I mean, the guy was shooting and it was like the sky was falling down and it was pressing on the town. It was a terrifying. Actually, yes, the biggest indication for tornado is a supercell. If you see a supercell forming, there you definitely have one. You can Google what supercell is. It's pretty distinct. I mean, you can't get it wrong. Communication, you say, Christina. Yeah, that's exactly what you're gonna have, and I don't think that there is gonna be a closure in between you two, with those couple of cards. Okay, with those couple of cards, there is definitely those three cards. I'm sorry, there is definitely going to be a communication, and I do believe that this communication is gonna end up with you both convincing each other that there should be some kind of a continuation. So I don't want to give you false hopes here. Okay, I don't want to give you hopes of a reconciliation, but the very least, you know, you both are going to consider being a some kind of a friends, and that is a very least. But communication definitely is going to ensue. So no, there won't be a closure, or at least according to these cards, anytime soon. All right, so that concludes the first three reading, and now a couple of minutes, and afterwards I'm moving to the next four star signs, which are going to be Leo, Virgo, Libra, and of course Scorpio. Within next 6 months to 1 year, Christina. You're welcome. All right, so Leo, first one, we do have the Ace of Cups for you guys, followed by the Ace of Wands. Moving on next, that is going to be the Knight of Cups, followed by the fourth one, which stands as the Two of Swords. And the final card for you, we have the Three of Pentacles. Hello, Ella. Welcome to the stream. I'm quite alright. Thank you. So you don't have to even do anything. I mean, if anybody gonna have it the easy way next couple of weeks, that's gonna be you, for what we can see into those cards. So, can I put it into words? Well, the thing is that according to these cards, you gotta go with the flow. But the thing is that you don't even have to try to go with it. In fact, you will have to put a significant effort to get away from the flow for what these cards are showing. So what can you expect, Leo, in your environment, whether career-wise or whether relationship-wise? Well, in the next couple of weeks, there are going to be events which, by definition, you will find quite surprising. Now, those events are gonna be quite as well happy in a sense of that they will be pleasant. Well, even pleasant said it's quite underwhelming. They will be lovely, right? They will be pretty lovely, and they will transcend your reality into wherever they show up, to something that you would freaking love to experience. Now, usually, Leo, these events, they do manifest in the field, under those cards, that is, in the field where you are most unhappy at. Okay, so to give you an example, let's say if you had been fired recently from work and you are feeling very bad about it, well, new job is coming about. Okay, if you have recently experienced breakup and your heart is wounded, well, that empty spot in your heart is going to be refilled back again. So it's just whatever you miss, whatever makes you unhappy right now, or whatever, or the lack of whatever makes you happy, you are gonna lack it no more. If lack of love makes you unhappy, well, love comes your way. If lack of work makes you unhappy, well, work comes about. Okay, if lack of money makes you unhappy, well, you guessed it. Okay. So what is important here to do, it is that these events are going to bring you resources, whether like I said, money or a job or love. And it is important that you do use resources the way that makes you happy. So what was the English word here, guys? Prejudices, right? So it's very important not to have any prejudice about why things are showing up for you in the next couple of weeks, or why the things are building up for you in the next couple of weeks. Having prejudices, it's the worst thing you can have, because what this is going to make you is try out a quote-unquote opportunities which are very risky, and we can see that with the Ace of Wands here being into the second position. Not just only risky, they're uncharted, so to speak. It's pretty much uncharted territory. Anything can happen there, and definitely, even if things work out for you, your experience with it, it's not gonna be pleasant, it's not gonna be lovely by a long shot. So it's very important that you stick with what you already know, to kind of like brings pleasure into your life and to make you happy. And like I said, you don't even have to try to make that work. Another thing about this full moon in Sagittarius for you, Leo, is that there will be a significant equilibrium in your life, meaning that things cannot go sideways unless you put a really colossal effort into it. And finally, it is that it's highly unlikely that you are going to make wrong choices. It's just, you know, whenever you have to decide in favor of one thing or another, the right choice is going to be pretty much obvious. It's going to be eye gouging, right? You will have to make your eyes bleed not to see it. And finally, I mean, it's like, to top this one off, you're also going to attract support from people. Okay, so there may be organizations or certain people that will want to help you. Now, are you going to get that help or not? Well, that depends entirely on you. But the very least, you are going to have these and this incentive for a cooperation. Ella, thank you so much for your $19.99 support. Thank you, Ella. Make sure that you do stick around up until the end, where you're gonna get your personalized reading over the transit. And like I said, anyone who donates 20, that classifies as 20 or more, is gonna get that 5-card reading. That is something which me and Pisces Moonbeam discussed before the live stream. That's a new rule, which I am putting only for the new and full moons. So you definitely make sure you stick around up until the end. All right, so that was Leo. Now moving next, we do have Virgo. Right, so Virgo, first one, that is going to be the Two of Wands. If you say so, Nancy. Thank you so much for your 1999 US dollar support. Thank you, Nancy. Uh, make sure that you do stick around up until the end, where you're also gonna get your personalized reading for the full moon in Sagittarius. Okay, so yeah. Second card, the Eight of Swords. Moving on next, we do have the Chariot. Afterwards, that is going to be the Nine of Swords. And the final one for you guys, we do have the Eight of Wands. So these 5 cards. Ginger as well, thank you so much for your 20 US dollars support. Thank you, Ginger. You also make sure you do stick around up until the end, where you are going to get your personalized reading. And Sean as well, thank you so much for your 10 US dollars. Thank you, Sean. You also make sure that you do stick around up until the end. Let's see what kind of a cards we had now. So Virgo, it will be on an important transit. That's going to be on an important transit, guys. And you got to be very cautious and careful was the word that I was searching for here. And that is because of these 3 cards, okay? These 3 cards that we do have. And I'm going to use one of my favorite words in English, okay? There is a significant danger that you may beguile yourself into believing that something can happen which it won't. And that is a self-belief. And that way, potential wasted. So what I am talking about here, it's for new beginnings. Definitely new beginnings. So what you should do, or at least according to these cards, how you should play out your couple of weeks that are coming. Is that your question, Sean? Where I will be? Will I be where I am in 2 years? So it refers to new beginnings. That's beguiling that I'm talking about. So your attitude is, instead of kind of like jeopardizing accomplishments, to seek to improve further on those accomplishments for the next couple of weeks, rather than to scamper and jump from one thing into another. Like if you are making progress into a specific project, or you are making progress with the interactions, excuse me, or if you are making progress with the interactions with somebody, okay, you gotta hammer this one down, all right? You gotta press even harder in that direction, rather than to say, all right, so I'm doing good with that project, let's try with another project. No, you milk it for all it's got until it's arid dry. And then if it is arid dry and you can't milk it anymore, then you may think for a starting something new. Thank you, Ginger. So, and that's literally what the transit here, the full moon in Sagittarius, revolves around. And I can totally understand why would you want to find something different to do, because it seems that throughout the next couple of weeks you are gonna be on a verge of that game changing. That is with everything, guys, whether it is about relationships or whether it is about career. You start certain enterprise. Let's say you do start kind of like interacting with somebody or with someone, and as time progresses, that interactions get more serious and more serious, and things grow more difficult and difficult. And so this full moon into Sagittarius, it is the wraparound, okay? It is the moment where you do seal the deal. So it is the most difficult section of that enterprise. And it's by the way something I do as well. When I reach to that section, I tend to kind of like stall it for as much as I can, instead of kind of like dealing with it. And that's what you gotta do here in the next couple of weeks. You deal with it instead of stalling it and kind of like replacing it with something different. And by the way, your attitude should be of a proud woman or a man. Okay, you definitely can be for what you have accomplished, and if you do press really, really hard, you definitely can make whatever you wish to come out of it happen. Okay, but it will require quite solid will and determination. It's not going to happen on its own accord. It's going to require effort, but you definitely have what it takes, for what we can see from these cards, to make it work out. And that's pretty much it for Libra for the next couple of weeks. So you are sitting on a good accomplishments, guys, but you can grow even more on those accomplishments. It's about building on top rather than starting anew. Yeah, that was Virgo. Did I said Libra? I'm sorry guys if I said Libra. That was for Virgo. Now I am on Libra. Yeah, that's true. For Libra, we do have 10 of Pentacles, followed by the seven of Cups. Moving on, next we do have the 6 of Pentacles. Afterwards, that is going to be the Ace of Swords. And the final one, we have the 8 of Pentacles. Okay. So these 5 cards. There isn't much to be said, really. And that's a good thing, by the way. Let me check on the second card one more time. Yeah. All right. So that's what those cards are showing up here, Libra. It is that next couple of weeks. The universe is going to position you in a place where you belong. So what is this gonna boil down to with these 5 cards? It is that you are gonna start growing more and more independent from, I don't know, influences. For example, if you are very dependent of your family, you are gonna start growing less and less dependent. Okay, or if you are dependent of alone, you are gonna start growing less and less dependent on that. Bottom line, it is the dependencies, they create inconveniences, and those inconveniences are going to start diminishing within the next couple of weeks because you are going to get adjusted where you belong. And therefore, your experience is going to grow to be more and more comfortable. Okay? Much more and more comfortable than it was before. Now, one specific case that may or may not happen that is very personal. Okay, if it was a personal reading and based on the question given, I would have said it, but as it's a general one, it will be valid for some of you guys. And that is that someone that you do have a huge history with, okay, it's gonna come back to your life. And you will have a chance, not just only chance, but a true foundation to work it out this time around. And another thing for you, Libra, according to these cards, for what I can see here, it is that within the next couple of weeks, you will learn how to use the power of your spirit. I don't know what I'm talking about here, okay? That is something that you will find out what it is exactly. But definitely you will learn how to show spiritual strength within your not just only environment, but the way you deal with problems, the way you recognize situations, the way you talk especially, okay, and the way you serve the truth as well. Another beautiful thing about the next couple of weeks, it is that the gift of the universe for you is going to be having that very subtle and keen eye for the details. So it's very unlikely that something is gonna elude you out there. And on top of it, you will have the opportunity, or rather like you will have everything ready, okay, and it's only gonna require you to manifest it. So if you have any plan that it took a long time to develop, or you have something that it took a long time you to prepare yourself for, next couple of weeks is the time where it's coming down, all right? It's gonna happen one way or another. So moving on, next we do have Scorpio. We have the Ten of Cups with the Queen of Cups, with the Ace of Wands, with the Four of Cups, with the Chariot. I'm gonna throw up right in this very moment. Sean, I don't know what you just said. That's probably some kind of a slang or anything. Okay, I had no idea what you said, but probably something funny because people are laughing. So I'm gonna throw up. This next couple of weeks are gonna be so emotional. It pains me to look at it pains me to look at our reading. Yeah, Leah. It's because it's gonna be very emotional. I hate emotions. Okay, I really, really hate emotions. Emotions make you. That is my personal opinion. Emotions make you do stupid things. Okay, you don't have to preach what I believe in. All right, you don't have to stick to what I believe in, guys. I'm saying my personal opinion. Next couple of weeks, it's just we are gonna be drowning. All right, drowning. That's I don't see how that's a good thing. And even the cards, hold on a second. Even the cards are suggesting to us to try everything we can to escape it. Okay? Look at that. We do have water, water, fire here, which is the attitude, all right? That's fire, water, water. So we do have a glimmer of hope, all right? It's a tiny, tiny ray of hope. It's a flicker, and we gotta catch it. So what happens it is that well, it's a quite complicated to explain it. They don't. One kills the other. Yeah, true. One kills the other. So that's why, by the way, the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Wands together, they don't go very well. Although they both are amazing cards, they just don't go very well. Thank you, Sean, for another 10 US dollars. Right. So it's quite complicated to explain it. Yeah, I know Pisces Moonbeam. So it regards to what makes us happy. Oh my god, that's so I understand it, guys. It's so bad to explain it. Oh, okay. Thank you, Sean. Hey, Taco. So what we gotta learn, and it comes all from it, okay? What we gotta learn in the next couple of weeks, it is that happiness comes from a many different gases, and we're gonna be super sensitive about it, okay? So it's just, we are gonna have these very expressive emotions and feelings with everything or anybody who is around us. Some people are going to make us happy, other people are going to make us sad, all right? But the thing is that happiness could be found in one or another. And in the next couple of weeks, we have to find the reciprocation. So if one doesn't reciprocate with us and we are feeling happy around them, but they don't want to be around us or they don't want to be with us, for example, we got to move to the next thing. Okay. And that's why being very emotional, it's not a good thing, because when you are emotional about something, especially pleasantly emotional about something, you just can't move on. If you love something or somebody, let's say somebody because it's much easier to explain. So if you love somebody, even if they don't love you, that doesn't allow you to move on while you love them. It's just, you can't. You gotta do something to overcome that. And that's why emotions are gonna be, they're gonna be pleasant, but it's not gonna be the best thing ever in the next couple of weeks for us, Scorpio. What is gonna be the next? What is gonna be the best for us in the next couple of weeks for what those cards are showing? It's the passion to explore, conquer, reinvent, refine us. Okay, so if something or somebody doesn't want to give us happiness, we find it elsewhere. That should be our fuel of moving forward. The fuel should be a spark, not a sink. All right, the fuel should be the sun, not the ocean. That's the best way how I can explain it. And it will be difficult for some of us, guys, especially those who are in a one-sided love situation. That will be very sobering transit, very sobering couple of weeks where they will understand, oh my god, that's not the only one who can make me happy. That other woman that I just get to know, or have started that I'm just starting to know, also has a potential to make me happy, right? Or this guy I just met, also it looks really nice guy, he also can make me happy. I don't have to stick with the one that is always tossing me around, right? So that is the realization that we are going to come up to in the next couple of weeks. And the gift for us, for what those cards are showing, is the will to make it happen, because it's very difficult to powerhouse yourself through emotions, right? You need a really, really, really strong will to do so. And it seems that we're gonna have it. But yeah, But yeah, next couple of weeks are gonna be rough, very, very emotional, and it's gonna be very important that we learn to understand that just because we cannot find happiness from one source, that doesn't mean that other source is not going to give it to us. And that will be that needs to be our fuel for Scorpio to explore sources and settle for those that welcomes us rather than those that we want to be at. I'm gonna butcher this one definitely. Hello, Chrysalius. Welcome to the stream. What is 23 days? Oh, 23 degrees. All right, so with that said, this concludes the second cluster of a star signs. And now we are entering into the second break, in which one of you guys is going to get a free reading. And in order to do so, all you got to do is just input a question into the comments down below. And after about 5 minutes, I'm going to pick a question and I'm going to perform a professional reading on the question. Should any of you have an interest to have a personal reading with me, you can always go to my website, which you're going to find in the description down below. And there at the very front page, you will see a full list of my services and as well their pricing. And finally, anyone who wishes, or rather like anyone who supports the channel and me through Super Chat, is going to get a reading at the end of it regardless. Are they picked or not on the on the free reading? And a new rule for the lunar transits, which is that should the super chat be higher, $20 or higher, you guys are gonna get that 5-card spread that I just made. Chandra, thank you so much for your $4.99 US dollars. Thank you, Chandra. And Matia for another $19.99. 19.99. Thank you, Matia. Do you have any specific request for them or just a full moon? And I think that this prediction 2 days ago from the Lenormand card, it's catching up with me. I am growing cold, or rather like I am catching cold, I believe. Because I'm not feeling very well right now. I will manage with the stream, but after that probably I'm gonna be knocked out for about a day or two. It's just I feel weird. I definitely don't feel 100%. Well, if you don't have any specific question, Mattia, there is gonna be just only one reading because it's a general one. I cannot make you two general readings. You know what I mean? It's just yeah, it's for the full moon. Yeah. Oh, I drink a lot of water, Chrysalis. I do drink a lot of water. It's just my eyes are burning right now. My eyes are burning and they are kind of like they feel very heavy. That's cold. Spring water, yeah, that's what I am. That's what I am munching right now. And in my country, spring or sparkling water is what we call it. It's delivered in those. It has pink labels, right? It has pink labels. Any water that's if you come to Europe, for example, guys, and any water you buy that has a pink label on it, it has that pink. It's sparkling water. It's not a mineral water. It's sparkling water. Or no, it's not. It's spring water. I'm sorry. It's spring water. Sparkling water is something different. All right. So, will I be where I am in 2 years? Sean asks. All right, Sean. I need to ask you then. Do you want to be there? Because I need to know so I can see in the cards. Yes, of course. All right. So those are your cards, Sean. We do have these three. Truth be told, it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't make any difference. According to these cards, Sean, you will be in a good place in 2 years, whether you are at the place you are or not. What truly the card says, it is gonna be entirely your choice. You want to stay, you stay. You want to go, you go. But it's going to make no difference of how your life is going to be at that point. Or rather, like, are you going to feel good or not at that point? In fact, for according to these cards, you are going to be very well situated based on the incentive you are asking about. Okay? So, again, after 2 years, if you still want to be there, you will have no problem to be where you are right now. And if you want to travel, travel it is. You're welcome, Sean. A couple of minutes, guys, and moving to the last 4 star signs. Well, Chrysalius, that's not a good question for tarot cards, okay? Because this is how tarot works. If you are meant to be happy or successful, you are going to be regardless where you are. For tarot, locations are irrelevant. Where your home is doesn't matter at all. So it's not a good question, as it doesn't matter are you married or not as well. For tarot, marriage is just a signature on a sheet of paper. It doesn't mean anything. I would have taken it as well if I were at your place. Well, yeah, well, Pisces Moonbeam, I was talking with someone recently, and what we came up to a conclusion is that when things go south, literally there is no bottom to that hole. Things can always go worse. So sometimes staying positive, it's easier. It's much easier said than done. I feel you. Yeah. Could always be worse, exactly. And every time you think the things cannot get any worse, you got surprised. Surprise him, says the universe. So that's why I believe, guys, it's very important that we are grateful for what we have, because it always can be worse. Yeah, that's a mysterious moon. That's a great question for tarot. Yes, not just the cows ones, right? The cows are causing the biggest one. Climate changes. For what I heard, though. What in the world? So I was about to say that Taco, that cow causes much more climate change than a turtle or a turtle. Turtle. So Sagittarius, first one, that is going to be the Fool, followed by the Three of Swords. Moving on next, that is going to be the Eight of Wands. Afterwards, we do have the Tower. And the final one, that is going to be the Worlds. If that's not a kick, I don't know what it is. All right, it's definitely a kick. So with Sagittarius, we do have almost the same topic, but much more powerful and pronounced for from Scorpio. And here it could actually go both ways, okay? One version looking at these cards, it is giving it a go. The other version of these cards, it's moving on. These both versions can play out, okay? They can, how can I put it into words? They can carry on with a similar magnitude moving forward. In either way, it's not gonna be easy. In either way, it's not gonna be easy. That is because what we, and I'm saying we because, as you probably guys know, I have a lot of I have a lot of planets in Sagittarius as well. It's not going to be easy because we are throwing ourselves into quite of an uncharted territories here. So basically what we are involving ourselves into is something we know almost nothing about. And it's very important that we do not carry a baggage from the past. So what I mean is that let's imagine that this giving it a go, it's about a new job, all right? So we decide to give a go to a job that we can start in the next couple of weeks. And it's very important that when we start this job, not to have a prejudices based on a previous failures. Just because that job looks like, or it is a reminiscent to a previous job we had, which we probably failed in, since we don't have it anymore, or we had the very least a quite of an unpleasant experience there, it doesn't mean that this job is gonna be the same, or rather like it's gonna give us the same incentive for a failure or for a I don't know, unpleasant experience. So it's very important to face the future with a innocence and purity rather than to have a biased opinion what is going to happen. And that is very important when it comes to interacting with people and relationships in the next couple of weeks. Wherever you are to interact with someone either new or someone you know, but things are getting more and more serious in between you two, don't presume, guys, what is there to take place. Do not presume what can happen in between you two, because you may vow that you do not love the person, and in a couple of weeks you may end up being head over heels for them. And what you are going to do then, right? You already rendered your verdict. What you're going to do, you're going to back on your word that you now feel something. I mean, how is that going to look like, right? Another thing it is that we may face some, and it's not even, I can't even call it a criticism, right? It's more of a what I love to call it, it's mental cruelty. Like when we share what we want to do, okay, with either this opportunity or with either this new incentive of ours, there is always gonna be that person which is gonna try to show us how unworthy we are, how much we suck, and all these kind of stuff, which makes no favor to anyone. And whenever, the bottom line here is, guys, that whenever you do feel, not feel, but think negatively in the next couple of weeks, like for example, you do have a thoughts of failure, like for example, you do have a thoughts of that you are unworthy or you cannot handle, or these kind of stuff, don't allow those thoughts to twist and tangle in your mind. Okay, try to replace them with something positive, because if you do allow them to twist and tangle in your mind, it's highly likely that you're going to find yourself a very, very lost. And the beauty of all this transit, it is that you will learn that everyone deserves a second chance. And believe it or not, that includes you as well. And that's what you're going to have, a second chance. What was the third card? Yeah, it's definitely a second chance that we do have here. Okay. And that's literally your reading, Sagittarius. I mean, it's very powerful. And either this second chance is about new beginning or giving it a go. It's entirely up to whatever situation you are in. Hey Anna, welcome to the stream. I'm really glad that you were able to make it. So that is the Sagittarius reading. Moving on, next we do have Capricorn. Hold on a second. All right, Capricorn. First one, it is the Two of Cups, followed by the King of Cups. Moving on, next we do have the Emperor. Afterwards, that's gonna be the Queen of Pentacles. And we do have the Ace of Cups. And you think it's all about work, isn't it? But it isn't. Yeah. Yeah, Ginger. It's exactly, whoa. So we definitely are talking here about romantic love, all right? It's just, there is no other way to look at it. We're talking about the unrealized one, all right? The one that it is like that comes from the Queen of Pentacles, okay? It comes from the Queen of Pentacles, and it is I just stretched, yeah. That's true. Because like I told you, I don't feel well, and when I don't feel well, I stretch to my kind of like keep myself focused. So So it's about a romantic love we have here, like I said. And when I said unrealized one, that is the one that has potential, but for some reason that potential is not developed. Okay. And within the next couple of weeks, that's what you are going to learn. You want to be loved, it's there, all right? It's right there. And it's up to you to make it happen, all right? Because well, it's a bit more complicated than that. It's a bit more complicated than that. Oh, it's far more complicated than that. I don't want to be biased here, all right? So let me explain it that way. Yeah, it is there. You can make it happen. It's just, for the lack of better expression, in a general sense, it's not displayed the way you are expecting it to be displayed. It is, let me try to give you that example. It is just, you do have a certain criterias, right? Everybody has those criterias. What a person that loves you should do or should act or should say, and yet the one that can love you doesn't do that. So we obviously have conflict. But that doesn't mean that it isn't there. It is. And it is within the energies which are supporting you. It is within the environment that it is around you. How you are going to recognize the person, it always extends a hand. Okay, it always extends a hand. You need the person always there for you. Or rather, like, it's always, well, yeah, it is always there for you. Well, they may not be able to help you with one thing or another, but you need them to be around you. They're always around you. That is, by the Two of Cups, the definition, where, as you can see with the traditional deck, right, both people, the two people there extend hands to one another, they meet at the middle. Okay, so which kind of also speak about a equal flow. It's like you are, if you allow this love to grow and build up, right, you're never going to feel like you are carrying all the whole thing on your back here. So the way how you should approach the situation, for what we can see here, it's kind of like be professional for the lack of better word. It's, yeah, it's I don't know, the only thing that comes to my mind, it is that if you think that you want to be with this person, or if you decide that you want to be with this person, just tell them, let's do it. Okay, for what we can see from these cards. But bottom line for Capricorn, it is that there is a such thing like love, that it is smothered, it's muffled, it's undeveloped, and you can't do it, you can't develop it. Okay, by, it's not even exposing yourself, it's more like a showing that you can handle it. I don't know how, yeah, it's exactly that, showing that you can handle it, because that's how that's how the emperor does things. He handles through consistency, or through control. So that, yeah, that's the word. You gotta display, show, say that you can handle it. And by the way, what this is gonna bring you, it's gonna bring you so much stability in your life. With the emperor being there, it's just then that is only scratching the surface here, is that is gonna make you face the ups and downs in your life with ease and bear. So it's your choice. Are you gonna allow it to grow or not? Jen, thank you so much for $20 support. Thank you, Jen. I don't understand the question, Jen. How might Uta pet you, or what is that? Further. I believe that's pursue, but what is the... Can you retype your question, Jen? Thank you so much for your $20. Yeah, but what is Uta? Uta, it's a name? Okay, if that's the case. Okay, Aquarius. First one, it is the Three of Cups for Aquarius. Moving on next, we do have the Four of Wands, followed by the third card of the Hangman. Moving on next, that is going to be the Knight of Pentacles. And the final one for Aquarius, that is the King of Pentacles. Those 5 cards. Well, for Aquarius, it's all about enjoying themselves, not even, how can I put it into words? Not even worrying for, you know, what is going to come out of it. Thing about these cards is that we as Aquarius don't have much control over the events, whether in our career or whether in our love life. And according to these cards, that is. And whatever it is to be the resolution, it's out of our hands, at least for the next couple of weeks. Okay, so we should, how can I put it into words? And I'm saying we because I'm rising Aquarius. We should trust the universe that whomever we are waiting to make a choice is going to make the right choice. Well, it's going to make it. It's going to be right for us. Is it gonna be right for theirs? For them, that's a completely different story. But bottom line, for the next couple of weeks, guys, it is that whether we are finding ourselves in a nice place or in the midst of storm where the skies are dark and they are going to be set into light again, and only thing we got to do so that to happen is just wait. Okay, it's just wait. So we can although accomplish something different, not through actions but through sight. All right, and that is looking things in a different way. What I mean is like looking into disappointments as a blessing in disguise. Thank God it didn't happen, because it would have brought me this, this, and this as a disadvantages. All right, it all comes from the different perspective. And we as Aquarius, in the next couple of weeks, what the full moon in Sagittarius is going to bring us are those different perspectives, which are going to allow us to do a couple of things. First is to, should we have any disappointments by that point, to handle those disappointments much better than before. And the second thing that is going to bring to us, it's when we see situations from a different angle, that is going to open up, if nothing else, a windows of opportunities. Is going to open up, how can I put it into words, possibilities for actions, options available as well. And that within the environment that we are going to find ourselves into, which environment is going to be a to say the very least, a very pleasant one, right? The environment under the three of cups. Here it is when people truly feel for us. People have the same, how can I put it into words, the same feelings and emotions of the situations that we are all involved into. Not to mention that the three of cups in completely material aspect, it's all about the very initial results that are born from our actions. So if you have sent a message, if you have tried to make your points across, all right, or if you have initiated a plan, yeah, it's gonna bring results, but now you gotta trust that you did a good job preparing it and let it do its work, instead of, adapting it on a go, because that way you are not gonna accomplish more than what it is already set in stone, but you are also gonna have a very stressful couple of weeks. And one more thing here, according to these cards, the very least, it's going to be a piece of cake for you, Aquarius, for us, Aquarius, to pretty much not just only stabilize, but milk for all it got, everything we handle at that point. So our domain, it's our sanctuary, and we get to do with it whatever the hell we want. Okay? And that's it's gonna prove itself being doubly successful, because by the end of this transit, for what it seems, it's not only that we're gonna have a lot of can I put it into words, we're gonna have not just only free time, but as well resources to pour in something new, but also we are gonna be very, very aware what we want to pour those resources into. Okay, so at the end of this transit, if right now we don't know what we want or how we want it exactly, we are going to by the end of the transit itself. And that's for Aquarius. And moving next, last and not but not least, we do have Pisces. And someone from the audience is Pisces Moon. First one for Pisces, High Priestess, followed by the second one, which stands as the Two of Wands. Moving on, next we do have the Knights of Cups. Afterwards, we do have the Six of Wands. And the final one, that is going to be the Four of Pentacles. Oh, it is your lover. It's not a pet store. Okay. Well, Cheryl, Pisces Moon, I think that you're going to have a great experience, all of you. Not just only if your moon is in Pisces, but Pisces in general. The only issue that I can see here is that you just need to learn to enjoy your success, okay? Because for what those cards are showing, guys, it is that whenever there is an accomplishment, and I don't know if that's a trend for Pisces or it is just something that it is right now situational, but at least for what those cards are showing, it is that whenever you make an accomplishment, you can't fully enjoy it because you consider it incomplete for you see that it can be more. Well, I have a news for you. It always can be more. You know, you can make $1 million today. You could have made $2 million instead. But hey, $1 million, it's a hell of an achievement, isn't it? So the thing about this transit, it is that you gotta learn to be grateful for even the slightest progress you can do, especially on the emotional front. That is going to be very important because the transit is all about you being able to settle for yourself. The energies that are surrounding you and that are helping you here, Pisces, they are energies where you are to secure and ensure a future to something, whether to your family, whether to your job, whether to your love life, for example, or to your home, whatever the case, okay? But you are to ensure a certain future of something that holds you emotionally, all right? That truly holds you emotionally, that you have no doubt that that's an essential part of your life. And by the way, it comes through a proposal of yours for what we can see here in those cards, and it is definitely not something that you do consider as a accomplishment right now, but it is. Okay, so I don't want to be, how can I put it into words, I don't want to give you big hopes here, okay, but there is a very big chance to meet one of your soulmates in the next couple of weeks, okay, and to have the opportunity and incentive to kind of like ensure a stable future with them, whether a stable future of friendship or whether a stable future of a intimate relationship or business partnership, whatever the case. And another thing about these cards, guys, is you gotta learn to accept. What I mean is that it's very likely that you may be rewarded for your effort or for who you are in general, for that you are a human, and it's important that you learn to accept prices. It's important that you learn to accept rewards. That's pretty much how it stands. That's full moon into Sagittarius for you, and whatever you are to kind of like ensure for your future, make sure that you really want it. That's important because It's going to be yours. It's going to be there to stay. It's going to be a inseparable part of your life. So make sure that you do know what you are signing up for. Anna, thank you so much for your 20 US dollars, Anna. Thank you so much. Make sure that you do stick around a little bit longer, where you're going to get your personalized reading over the transit. I assume that you do want a tarot reading, so that's going to be the case, since you haven't mentioned Lenormand. And now, before I move to the super chat, a last free reading is going to take place. So any of you who wishes a free reading with me, now is the time to ask your question into the comments down below. And after I am done with that free reading, I'm going to move to the super chat readings. Okay, so anyone who supported and needs to support the channel through super chat, you guys are going to get your reading at the end of the stream. That's regardless, which is approaching now. Ginger, I cannot answer that question. That is because pregnancy, it revolves around a medical condition. Okay, pregnancy, it's a medical condition, and tarot design is not to read for health. It doesn't have a single card that tells you anything about your health. Yeah, there are cards which keywords are a pregnancy, but I don't like to go by keywords with cards. All right, I already decided. That's a awesome question, Leah. All right, that's an awesome question. I'm taking it. Would exploring something romantic with one of my closest friends be a positive? Or should I avoid it and keep him as my soulmate friend level? I've always wondered. Well, that's a thing, Leia. As soon as even the glimpse of considering something more than friendship with this person from either one or the other side, that friendship is over, because now you are more than friends. Okay, you may call each other friends, but you are more than friends. You see each other for more than friends. And the only, how can I put it into words, a possible move forward is to give it a go. Of course, you do risk a lot, because afterwards you just cannot take it back. All right, you just cannot get back to where you were. So I get what you are asking, and let's check it out. All right, those are the cards. And what they show it is that not only it's not only that you can take it back, that is not irreversible. Okay, well, according to these cards, you can try out, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You can again be friends, but this time around you will know that it never worked, that it didn't work. So you are never going to have that, you know, that doubt. But also, according to these cards, what you are asking for, it's a bit overdue. I don't want to say way overdue, but it's a bit overdue. All right, you should have given each other a chance maybe a couple of years ago, maybe 10 years ago. So according to the cards, if you go for it, you are not gonna make a mistake, and you will have a really good time. All right, you ain't gonna regret it, at least according to these cards. You are not going to regret it. All right, couple of minutes, guys, and I'm moving to super chat. We do have only one Lenormand reading, which is gonna be mine. So let's check it out. What do we have this time around? All right. I had a sickness last time around. Well, this time around is a way to fight back the sickness, which is so that shows a way to heal, right? To heal completely from what I have. Thank you, Leah. So yeah, it seems that the health issue is reparable. Oops. These are my cards. All right, next I'm gonna go for the super chat that it is below 20 US dollars, and then, as I said, we're gonna move to the 20 US dollars or above super chat, which is gonna get the spread should there be no specific request into it. No, Ginger, is not for a time period. It is the next important thing that is gonna happen to you. Okay, it's the next important thing. It is, yeah. Well, I'm gonna die, all right. I'm not gonna get rid of troubles that easily. It's a say in my country. You know, you're not gonna get the easy way out that easily. All right, Pisces Moonbeam. To your question, that's the card. It's a bit complicated. But yes. Karen, your transit in the next couple of weeks, it's the death card. And Karen, you are going to, how can I put it into words? There are going to be things in your life that will make no sense anymore, right? And you are going to replace those things. That could be hobbies, it could be as well some kind of attitudes, it could be some kind of things that you are used to. It is just a liberation. It's no different than, you know, seeing that your diet isn't working out anymore and you change it with something that it is working out now. Okay, so you're gonna have it's not even a transit of transformation, it's transit of revival, if I may say it that way. So you're going to replace those things that doesn't work for you anymore with the things that are gonna work for you from there on moving forward. Chandra, your card is Judgment, and it is catalyzed with the Three of Wands, right? Very strong transit for you, Chandra. It seems that next couple of weeks you are gonna, that's not even an opportunity, it's more like a follow-up. Okay, it's a follow-up which is based on how you settled yourself or how you built things for yourself, whether career-wise or whether relationship-wise. But that follow-up is gonna feel simultaneously a challenging, right? A challenging breakthrough, and as well something you deserve to be a part of. And I do believe that that will refer more to your career, like finally being given the credit of how can I put it into words, the credit of trust to handle that important project, all right? Or finally being given the recognition you deserve and being elected for a promotion. So it's gonna be a big thing. It's gonna be like a wake up call, so to speak. But it will be a challenging enterprise. And under challenging, I don't mean challenging in a bad way. It's just it will require from you to step up your game, which you are totally ready for. If you are looking for work, will be an amazing job coming your way. Should you be looking for love, then most likely that will be something that Leah asked for. Someone that you have a really good patterns with, and suddenly you do realize that you can be more than just people that have a patterns together. All right, so Mattia, let's check out your transit. Well, if that's the case, Chandra, then the opportunity is gonna come itself to you. It's kind of like it's gonna be that opening that it is you will feel compelled to take, right? Yeah, it's gonna be a challenging endeavor, but in the same time, you will feel like a fool not to take it. All right, Mattia, first card, King of Pentacles. Second card for you, that is going to be the Ten of Cups. Moving on next, we do have the Two of Wands for you. Afterwards, that is going to be the Hierophant. And the final one, we have the Tower here. Chandra said it very well. She's ready for more. You are ready for more. So what those cards are pointing it is, Mattia, that the next couple of weeks within this full moon in Sagittarius, you will have not just only opportunity or an opening, but also an incentive to invest in already stuff. I do believe that we're talking more about your career than anything else, but to be more precise, what reading is referred to, it's a field in your life that you are satisfied but not exactly happy. All right, so it's okay, but it can be better. And you are gonna step on those achievements and those accomplishments, recognizing that you can go for more there. It does require investments though, okay, but those investments are going to worth it. So I don't know if it does refer to your love life or to your career. I do believe that it is about your career, but in either way, should it refer to your love life, then you are gonna learn to trust again if you have lost that sense, and also you will make people to trust you as well. Should it refer to your career, then you're gonna learn to love what you are doing in your career. I don't know how to put it into words, but these investments, what I mean is that those investments that you are gonna make there are not gonna be a hard thing for you to do, because it's not gonna be anymore about the money. It's gonna be about the job done. And the gift to you from the universe, it is handling crisis, should you be facing any crisis coming your way in the next couple of weeks. All right, so next one is going to be Taco. Let's check out, Taco, how your wife should handle your father when it comes to that a conversation which is about money. All right, it's pretty clear, Taco. From the cards, we do have those three cards for your wife's strategy, and that is the mindset of your father. All right. So the strategy of your wife should be respectful. She needs to be respectful to your father, but in the same time, she should not back from her standpoint. And what this should bring the whole situation to, it's compromise. Okay, and I believe that this is what the situation, it's the whole situation requires a compromise, because the state of your father that we do have here with the Eight of Swords, it is that your father doesn't see every way possible that thing to be sorted out. Okay, or in other words, he's short-sighted, and it is up to you and your wife to kind of open his sight and his view to see it outside of the box, to realize that there is a compromisable decision. It's not even a compromise, it's a decision that serves all of you. All right, so your wife doesn't have to agree with your father's standpoint, but she needs to show to your father that she respects his standpoint, and that way your father is going to respect your standpoint and your wife's standpoint, and with back and forth conversations, for what those cards are showing here, a common ground eventually is going to be accomplished. I don't believe though that is going to always going to be handled just only from that phone call. There is going to be a follow-up phone calls and even probably in-person meeting. But the worst that your wife can do is be aggressive, right, and kind of like put ultimatums left and right and corner your father, like putting his back against the wall, or being very submissive, like kind of like agreeing with everything that he says and that he asks. All right, she needs to stay firm, but in the same time she needs to give him a space to play around with, if you know what I mean. So the best way, once again, that she can handle it is being respectful, but also how can I put it into words, showing a personality that she knows what she wants. All right, and she's open for negotiations, but she's not succumbing to kind of like unfavorable conditions. Sean, I haven't did you yet. All right, Ella. We have the Lovers for you, Ella, followed by Temperance. Moving on next, that is going to be the Ace of Wands, followed by the Fool, and final one that is going to be, you are going to be truly on fire. Oh my god, that's going to be so active. Ella, the reading is very simple. It's all about you, girl, right? It's all about you. It's all about what you want. It's all about what makes you happy. It's all about what makes you harmonious. Don't allow anyone else to tell you anything else, okay? This transit, pretty much it's going to be dappled and suffused with so many things that you can be involved in, so many things that you can take a part of, so many enterprises that you are going to find amusing and interesting, and you can be a part of every single one of it. Okay, so have fun, go to the extreme. I don't know how to put it into words. Explore. It's one thing you need to know it is that within the next couple of weeks, there is no right or wrong way to handle one thing. It's all about how you should and how you want to. And according to these cards, you gotta go for what you want to, right? You definitely gotta go with what you want to. And whomever doesn't wanna handle it, it's not your problem, Ella. It's theirs. And that's pretty much how the transit is working out for you. Okay. And how can I put it into words? And if you are yearning for example, new places to go, if you are yearning, for example, for new projects to work on, if you're yearning for new friends, you can go for all that, okay? But you gotta put yourself in front of the needs of others, at least for the next couple of weeks, at least this time. And yeah, you do have that prerequisite to be on a fire and to have that very active transit, very active couple of weeks in front of you. But again, remember, it all comes to you. Are you gonna be harmonious with the environment and take on what life throws at you in a good sense, or are you gonna be submissive? It's your choice. The cards are advising you to be adventurous, to try, to allow yourself to dream, to face what the world has to offer to you, because it's gonna be great and you don't want to miss it. All right, next one, that is gonna be Nancy. Well, Ginger, that may not be in the cards, okay, because the reading is for the next couple of weeks. And what you are asking for may happen years from now, right? It's just, we don't know. A good night, Mattia. All right, Nancy. First one, it is the Hangman for you, Nancy, followed by the Four of Wands. Moving on next, we do have the Eight of Swords. Then it is the I already drew, but all right, I'm gonna indulge you with your question. All right, these are the cards, Nancy, for your question. All right, these are the cards. And not next, as the thing stands right now, it's not going to be next month. It's more like the start of September. But still, there is going to be a condition, all right? And the condition is going to be how much you can give in return. So it's not about it's just that's what you are asking for, or the relationship with this man, at least at the start, is going to be a consumer relationship. What I mean is that this man is going to consume and you are expected to give, for what we can see here. So according to these cards, Nancy, it is better to kind of like, unless that man learns to respect you, even if he does not agree with you, you shouldn't allow him to kind of like be in a relationship with you. That is for what the cards are showing. And definitely he isn't ready next month. That's given for what those cards are showing up here. And the fact that we do have the Knights of Wands into the second position, which is this advantageous position, that shows that you can prematurely make that relationship, which what is going to make is going to burn you out, or is going to burn him out. And it's just, he's gonna lose interest very, very soon afterwards, and he's gonna, if not ghost you, dump you for nothing. Okay, so you gotta tread carefully with this one, skating on a thin ice there. And until that man respects you, even if he disagrees with you, then that is a sign that he is ready. If he doesn't respect you for your different opinion, then he isn't ready. Right, so that was your super chat. Now moving next, we do have Ginger. You're welcome, Nancy. First one, Ginger, we do have the Eight of Swords, followed by the second card of the Five of Cups. Moving on next, we do have the High Priestess. Afterwards, that is going to be the Ace of Swords. And the final one, that is going to be the Nine of Pentacles. Ginger, I don't believe that these cards are referring to the current situation you do have, because these cards, they are cards of stall. What I mean is that it's more of a spiritual, how can I put it into words, experience than a physical or a romantic experience here. And what boils down to it is that next couple of weeks you are going to start reflecting more upon I don't want to call them mistakes or bad things, okay? But kind of like the situations or the things that had happened in the past that you can't forgive yourself about, okay? And that you are trying to look past them, not recognizing the truth. I don't know how to put it into words, Ginger. According to the cards, you are stopping yourself of something, and until you do not kind of like admit to yourself what is the reason of you stopping yourself to, for example, having a joyful life, to, for example, being happy with what you have, right? For example, moving forward no matter what, and so on and so forth. You are going to be stuck into this spiritual cycle. Now, if you are curious on the material plane, what happens, love life or career, absolutely nothing. According to these cards, things are gonna be just as they are, and that's the best way you can have them, right? Until you do not, how can I put it into word play, say an accurate diagnosis of yourself, how you want things around and how you want to proceed and how you are going to enjoy them if things happen, right? And the energies which are going to support you, Ginger, for or the gift to you from the universe, it is that all these processes are going to happen with ease. You don't have to struggle. As soon as you do, how can I put it into words, find your spiritual strength, and you are able now to place that accurate diagnosis over where you are, how you stand, what you want, and how you're going to handle it. You are going to be in peace with it. You're not going to regret anything, nor you are going to be disappointed of anything, and so on and so forth. And also, according to these cards, you can work on the communication if there is something that's, how can I put it into words, yeah, you can be more elaborative when it comes to communicating with people around you, your friends, your lovers, or your lover, or your husband, or whomever. But because if you do not get an answer, that is because you are misunderstood, and it is better to try to explain yourself. That is according to these cards. Moving on, next we do have Sean. All right, Sean. Two of Cups with the Moon. Moving on, next is the King of Wands, followed by the Chariot. And the last one is going to be the Four of Swords. So Sean, next couple of weeks, they're definitely about partnerships, maybe even romantic partnerships. But Sean, because we don't have actually we do. So as far as the romantic partnerships come for the next couple of weeks, that is that is the motto of yours, or at least that should be the motto of yours. Better early than never. Okay, taking too much time to get to know each other. Someone may get to know them better than you do for a shorter amount of time and kind of like poach or snatch your romantic incentive. So definitely next couple of weeks are about unity and romance. And in order to seal the deal, it's very important that you do put your pride on the shelf, and as well shyness also, and you gotta show yourself being very, very open. If you are single, definitely we do have the appearance of someone who can offer you what I am telling you right now. The only problem shown, it is that this is not going to be the last one, right? We have the Moon into the second position, which means that fate has someone else than the one you have at sight right now, or the one you are with right now, in store for you in the future. You may miss each other, right? I don't want to say that you're going to end up in an affair, but just what these cards are showing, or the Moon is showing into the second position, it is that this, when it comes to unity and partnership and romance, it's not your path. Your path is yet to develop, okay? And how this is gonna happen, like I said, God and universe, they do work in mysterious ways. But it's very important in the next couple of weeks, if you are single, to look for a challenge. What I mean is that if the woman is anything less, but anything less than what you are, then you do not need that woman. That's according to the cards. By all means, you can do whatever suits you best. But how the energies are gonna help you in the next couple of weeks, Sean? It is, or what is your gift? It is the gift of clearance. Or how can I put it into words? When you talk with people, or when you talk with the one that you have an incentive for unity and for relationship, they will listen, because everything you say, it's gonna make sense, and not just only is gonna make sense, but also it's gonna be supported by arguments. So nobody will be able to argue with you. And by the way, on top of it, people are gonna find you very, very loyal and very faithful. And that's probably why it's another reason why suddenly things may open up for you on the love front. I'm gonna touch for a career a little bit, and career wise it's much more calm there. You can expect career wise nobody to mess around with your stuff, and you can have a very peaceful experience at your work, or with the business, or with the project that you are dealing with right now. But not much a progress on that front, at least for the next couple of weeks. Just, you go there, you do your work, you get your salary or your paycheck, and that's about it. Next one, that's gonna be Jen Larry. And how might Uta pursue me further? Let's check it out. You're welcome, Sean. And they're gonna cut Utha is gonna catch you, right? They are gonna catch you. Let me tell you the time frame here. By the end of the summer. So, Jen, according to these cards, that man has an attachment to you, and it's unexplainable by him. All right, that's even, it's different than love, and yet it's the same as it is. Okay, or it kind of like goes hand by hand with it. Okay, so how might Uta pursue you further? Well, in a few ways. First of all, they are gonna seek talking with you. Okay. Second, they are gonna try to show you that you can trust him, or he is gonna try to show you that you can trust him. Then it's going to be, he will try to convince you that he can be useful to you, which it's not okay in my opinion. Okay, but that's how he's gonna play it out. And finally, he will show you that he like and loves you for who you are, and he expects nothing less. Okay, That is the way how he is going to pursue you further. Through conversations, through giving you freedom, through respecting you, through trusting you. And all that it takes, it's you to accept him for who he is. Giving him a hard time, right? And how can I put it into words? Cutting him off for no reason, it's a sure way how you can kill the whole thing. All right, next one, that is gonna be Anna. All right, Anna. First one, King of Wands with the High Priestess. Then it is the Eight of Wands, Three of Wands, Knight of Cups. Next couple of weeks, Anna, you get to enjoy yourself. That is a period of time where you will have the chance to how can I put it into words? You know, people that have the knack to enjoy life for what life is, that's you in the next couple of weeks. And in fact, the gift from the universe here with the Knight of Cups, it's the gift to kind of like always have the option to do what makes you feel good. It's to what makes you feel happy. Okay, you will have that option in front of you, and it will be, at least in my view, it's gonna be foolish not to take it, regardless of what anyone thinks, your friend, your boss, whatever. Because at the end of the day, what you need to learn here is the Three of Wands, which are two things actually. One, it is that your life is your own, and how you set it up, it falls to you, not to others. So it is your responsibility to build up the patterns in your life. And if you make the patterns so tight and gray and grim that there is no room for you to feel joy or happiness, it's your fault. So make sure that you do build the patterns there, that you have fun, that you enjoy life for what life is, for what life has to offer. That though doesn't mean that you have to party all day long for the next couple of weeks. You have to try to, how can I put it into words, be balanced in a way of, yeah, you need to have a good time, but in the same time you need to work to your ambition, because next couple of weeks you will have the chance to transform your ambition into a powerful drive. I would like to see the King of Swords into the third position, because then that drive would have transformed into strategy and resolution. We don't have it yet. You will have the option now, or rather like the opening. So that powerful drive is yet to materialize, okay? But at the very least, your ambition now can kick in. And finally, and that's not a brainer here, Anna, High Priestess into the second position, sitting into one place how can I put it into words? Dwelling. It's the last thing you want. Revitalize yourself. Or you will have that incentive to revitalize yourself. And starting from enjoying life, it's a hell of a good start for you to do. You will have your options. I hope you take them. That's what these cards are showing for you, Anna. Alright, guys. I think that that wraps it up. Thank you so much for sticking around. Thank you for your generosity as well, and for your support. We're gonna probably see each other Thursday, where is gonna be my favorite "What is your star sign?" needs to know this moment. And until then, I want you to know that me, and I'm sure Pisces Moonbeam as well, we love you guys, and we're gonna see each other very, very soon. Until then, bye.